Hi, I'm Aniko Hevizi from Live Your Life Hypnotherapy. I'm an advanced hypnotherapist, an emotion solution specialist, and a UK Hypnosis Academy trainer. Today I'd like to share with you the hypnosis cycle so you get a better understanding of what happens within a hypnotherapy session. And I would also like to demonstrate an induction that we use to help people go into their own hypnosis. So I'm going to start with the hypnosis cycle. The hypnosis cycle has got 5 stages. And the first stage is pre-talk, which is the most important out of all the stages. Pre-talk is where the client gets to understand and to know what's going to happen in the session. Pre-talk is where we explain to the client the differences between the mind. We explain everything about hypnosis, what hypnosis is and what it is not. We're also going to make sure that the client understands every step so they have no resistance whatsoever to go into their own hypnosis. So pre-talk is absolutely vital, because without pre-talk, the client may resist the whole process. Because if they don't know what's going to happen, they may be resisting it, right? They may be confused, or that unknown, what's going to happen. If they don't know it, that's the biggest fear anyway. So in the pre-talk, we have to make sure that the client knows absolutely everything about hypnosis, hypnotherapy, and all the work that we are going to do with them. So it becomes their choice, right? They can choose to do it or to leave it. But as long as they know all the steps, they are absolutely comfortable to go into hypnosis and allowing us to guide them through it. The next stage of the hypnosis cycle is induction. And induction is a technique or a way to have the client go into hypnosis faster. There are 3 different kinds of hypnosis that I use and teach. The first induction is the progressive muscle relaxation, where we guide the client through the muscle relaxations. There are rapid inductions, which take a couple of maybe 3 minutes max to guide a client into hypnosis. And there's also the shock induction, which takes only like really short amount of time to get someone into hypnosis. And I am going to demonstrate a rapid induction for you, one of my favorite, at the end of the once I'm done with the hypnosis cycle. And the induction is where the hypnosis continues to be created. So it starts in the pre-talk, because we set the client up to enter the hypnosis in the pre-talk, and then with the help of induction, the client enters the hypnosis, their own hypnosis, in a very fun way. And then from there, we are moving on to the deepeners. And deepeners are the ways where we guide the client into a deeper level of hypnosis. So they enter the hypnosis with the induction, but from there, they need some guidance of going into hypnosis deeper. And you can use deepeners as in counting them down, you can counting them up, you can absolutely use their heartbeat to imagine that the heartbeat is taking them deeper. You can use the breath, you can use whatever you can find around you and incorporate that into the session, so use that as a deepener. And after that, you take the client to a magical, mystical place. And the reason why this is important is so that they feel safe to make positive lifestyle changes. Because if they are imagining themselves at a place where they can be at peace with themselves and with the world around them, they are feeling so much more open and comfortable and safe to make the changes that they want to make. And from the deepeners, we are moving on to the actual work. You can call them suggestions, or you can call this stage the work or the techniques. Whatever you want to call them, it's fine. But this is the actual stage where they do the work. So in this stage, we are guiding clients to release the negativities that they may have, emotions, feelings, perhaps thoughts. This is the phase where we guide them through some change work, as in habit change, behavior change. Perhaps it's a belief change, or overcoming any kind of traumas that they may had in their life. And whatever change they want to make, we are doing that or helping them make those changes in this phase, which is the 4th stage of the hypnosis cycle. Here we are also, once the work is done, we are reconnecting with them some good feelings. So we always make sure that once we let something go, we are going to fill that space in that energy field in their body to make sure that nothing comes back, right? So we fill it up with some good, some positivity, some good feelings. And in the consultation or the pre-talk, as you're having that talk with your client, you find out what the client wants and how they want to feel after the session. And this is the time in the work stage of the hypnosis cycle, where once you've done the release, you make sure that you suggest that they are actually going to feel the way they chose to feel at the beginning. And then once your work is done, there's the last stage of the hypnosis cycle, which is the emergence. And that's where we are helping the clients come back to the here and now and be fully wide awake. Now, this is another stage where the client is highly suggestible, so we are making sure that we are emphasizing the change. We are emphasizing the good feelings that they reconnected with, and we are emphasizing how they wanted to feel. So those feelings become even more stronger. And once they are awake, you can suggest that they are going to feel absolutely amazing about themselves, and they will do. Now I'm going to demonstrate to you one of my favorite rapid induction, which I use quite often. This is my go-to induction because I think this has got the most fun about it, but that's for me. Of course, I choose other inductions. I always personalize it to the clients, but if I can, I will go with this. Now, with any induction or every single induction, you have to make sure that the client is safe. And what I mean by that, you need to make sure that the client has got no injuries, so you can actually use that induction with them. So what I chose today is the magnetic finger, and so for that we need to start by asking the client if they have any neck, shoulder or arm injuries, because if they do, this induction will not be suitable for them, so you need to move on to something else, another induction. And once you've found out and they say that yes, they don't have any injuries, you can move on to demonstrate the induction and then do it with them so that you guide them into hypnosis with that induction. So this is how it's going to look like. I ask the client first to rub their hands together, so we are waking up the energy, right? And then I'm going to ask them to lock their hands like so, and I'm going to ask them to keep their hands locked, and then they have the 2 forefingers pointing up. They're going to have that space between their fingers, right? And once this is set up and the client is doing it and then they're understanding what needs to be done, I'm going to ask them to stare that space between the fingers, right? So I'm going to ask them to stare at that space and keep staring. I'm looking at you, but the client will stare at that space. And as the client is staring at that space, I'm going to ask them to imagine that 2 magnets are put to or attached to their fingers, so the fingers are becoming magnetic. And as every magnet, they're going to start doing what they do best, which is tugging and pulling the fingers closer and closer together. And we're also going to tell them that the hypnosis has started to be created right now as the fingers are getting closer to each other and moving closer to each other. And once the fingers are touching each other, the hypnosis will be created. And from there, the hypnosis will move down into their hands, into their elbows, into their shoulders, into their neck, to the back of their head, to the top of onto the top of their head, and then from there it's going to hit their eyelids. So it's going to sit, the hypnosis will sit on their eyelids, and as the hypnosis is sitting on their eyelids, the eyelids will become more tight and heavier and heavier and heavier. And as their eyelids are becoming heavier and heavier, they wanting to close them, and they are allowed to be closed when they cannot keep them open any longer. And with that, the hypnosis will move into their body, right? And then take their take their whole body, their whole being into their own hypnosis. So you're not doing the hypnosis, they are entering their own hypnosis. And from that, remember the third phase or stage of the hypnosis cycle is the deepener. So we don't want them to be stuck like that for a long time, because that can be quite painful. So we're going to ask them to start to float their hands down, and with that, imagine that they are going deeper and deeper and deeper. So you see, I incorporated the movement into the hypnosis and used it as a deepener. So you can use any kind of thing, as I said, counting down or breathing, whatever you find more comfortable, and just use that as a deepener. And once their hands are down and then touching their lap, they are going even deeper into hypnosis. So that's one of my favorite rapid induction. I hope I made it quite clear for you. And what I would like to say is that if you are interested to learn more about this and interested to become a practitioner yourself, or you'd like to take on hypnotherapy as as a session to help you overcome whatever you want to overcome, feel free to get in touch, right? My details are going to be down below. And that's it for now. Thank you for listening. Bye.